Hi again. Since you're someone who isn't scared of the idea of owning a business, or maybe you've owned one or more businesses already, I want to take a few minutes to tell you why I think what I'm about to show you might be just the thing you're looking for at this point in your life. First of all, I don't know if you know it or not, but the mindset you already have separates you from the vast majority of the world. You not only see the value in being your own boss and setting your own hours and pay, but you're not afraid to do something about it. That's different, believe me. I have to guess that the idea of multiple streams of income is not only a good idea to you, but it's probably something you would eagerly welcome. Well, I'm the same way. I left the corporate world a long time ago because I knew I wanted more than it was going to provide for me. I've always been adventurous, and I didn't want someone else telling me when I could or couldn't work, or deciding for me how much I was worth. So over 30 years ago, I started, operated, and then just a few years ago sold a very successful graphic art and advertising business in my hometown. I'm currently owner or part owner in 3 businesses. For me, I think one of the best parts of living life this way is the confidence it gives me, which has served me well in handling many of the things life has thrown at me, good and bad. For example, a few years ago, I had the confidence at 48 years old to buy an airplane, find a private instructor, learn to fly, and get my private pilot certificate. Then 6.5 years ago, when my 4,000 square foot house and just about every material possession I owned burned to the ground, I had the confidence, even though I had little prior experience, to redesign and rebuild my house with my wife. And I don't just mean that we contracted it, but we actually did most of the labor ourselves. Then, when not long ago I was introduced by a mutual friend to a gentleman who's now a good friend and business partner, I had the confidence to act on my intuition and start the company that you're looking at right now. As I continue to move in the direction that my heart leads me, I can see my confidence growing by leaps and bounds, and that truly excites me. I've recently found some mentors that are taking me to a whole new level. But now I want to be a little vulnerable with you and tell you that the past couple of years leading up to this point has not been a bed of roses for me. You see, even with some of my earlier successes, I ended up stuck. I was in a place that I found myself bored and frustrated with my life. Even though I'd lived a fairly comfortable life up to that point, I got to a place where I just didn't have purpose driving me forward. After I sold the company that had kept me busy for 30 years, I had no concrete plans or goals as to where to go from there. And that made me lose a lot of confidence in myself. I felt aimless, useless, and not sure what to do to get unstuck. Well, thank God my desperation and my searching led me to find some mentors, some now very successful people who had once been in my shoes. Their willingness to lead me out of that dark place and into a very optimistic future opened up my eyes to find what I was looking for. As they began restoring my confidence and taking me to new levels of confidence I had no idea I was capable of, that gave me the desire to find a way to help others. I wanted to come up with something simple to help people that, like me, were looking for something more or just needed the break that would move them up to another level. Something that could give other people confidence in themselves. Maybe you're one of those people. About that time is when I met Rick. Now, Rick had been a basketball coach for close to 30 years and an entrepreneur with several avenues of income, and he shared the same passion as me to empower people. He'd been very successful in the network marketing industry, but was not happy with a lot of the tactics and hype that went with the business, and really wanted to find a way to help people, especially people who had tried to make it in that industry but gave up. So he came up with a way to benefit from the incredible income that can be made in the direct selling industry without having to deal with all the negative aspects that cause so many people to give up on it and often give it a bad reputation. Now, his ingenious idea was one that I'd never heard of, let alone considered before. So we put our heads together, we combined our years of experience with the passion to help people that we both had, and came up with this plan that I'm about to explain. So as a businessman, one thing that I knew was crucial to making a profit was my ability to get the word out to people about the awesome products and services I offered. So when I started my business years ago, I was young, I didn't have much money, I didn't want to go into a lot of debt, and the idea of spending a lot of money on advertising was just not an option for me. I had to find other ways of getting the word out. Well, what I discovered for myself is something I've since learned is widely known as the quickest and least expensive way to get the word out. You probably know what I'm talking about, word of mouth. Nothing beats a satisfied customer. My first couple of customers started telling their friends about the awesome brochure or sign that got done at my shop and the great customer service experience that went with it. Those friends came in when they needed my services, then told their friends about their experience, and the word spread. You know, it wasn't long before I had most everyone in town using me for their graphic art and advertising needs. So my business was built on and continued to thrive on word-of-mouth advertising. Since those days, I've also learned some simple but very effective strategies used by the top marketing professionals in the world that they've used to lead thousands of others to success, which have in turn led to their massive success. Now you might be asking, yeah, but how does this apply to me? Well, I don't know exactly, but hear me out. You might be surprised. You see, these simple ideas can be used in any area of life where you'd like to have influence and be able to persuade people to see how what you have to offer can be beneficial to them. Now, for the network marketers listening to me, I truly believe that if you had learned some of these strategies, you would see phenomenal results in the speed and the growth of your business. And that's the basic principle behind the system I'm going to show you. If you help enough people find the success they're looking for, you can't help but to become successful yourself. So if you'll click on the link below, you'll see one more short video that explains the Team 2020 system. In less than 5 more minutes, you'll have enough information to decide for yourself if you want to continue with our system or not. So go ahead and click on the link, and I'll see you again in just a minute.